awards she has received are Women's Day Honor from the Brew Magazine, Certificate of Honorary Citizenship from the Governor of Maryland, British Council's Charles Wallace Award for Arts in Education, Goethe Institute's Cultural Multiplicator Fellowship from Germany, Alliance Francaise and ICCR Fellowship to Montpellier Dance Festival as a speaker, Kala Seva Bharati Award from Bharat Kalachar, Jnana Samudra Award from Samudra Magazine, Satya Vimarshaka Sundaram from Natyanjali, Lifetime Achievement Award from the Amir Kushro Music Academy. She has delivered conferences and lectures around the world, and I know her as the best storyteller ever. Thank you. I'm so happy you're here, Devika ji. On behalf of Sparks, welcome.
Uh, Good morning to me and good evening to all of you. And I'm very, very happy to see all of you here. When we look at performing dance or natya, as we call it, when we look at something that is not just one dimensional, you know, uh, a whole history is associated with it, a whole ethos, cultural ethos is associated with it. It's just not performing dance alone. I know that art finds its level just like water, where when one door is closed, another will open and the art will find its way and fulfill its destiny itself. Because sitting in Houston or California and performing many, many other duties like being a student or a wife or a mother, etc., and still looking at this dance and looking where does it connect to us in this weather, in this climate, and in this culture. How does it connect to us? But there is also something called imagination, isn't it? It is imagination that kind of is the creator of culture. How does astrology know that we were born under this star? How does it know? It's a question. But before answering this question, I'd like to start with a story. Okay? There was this very, very, very handsome king called Soma. Okay? Soma had 27 wives. And he would spend time with each wife. Okay? But 26 of them noticed that Soma was a little too close to one wife. Her name was Rohini. Okay, so he was very close and he was spending more time with her than all of them. So they got very jealous and upset and they went and complained to their king, Daksha. Daksha means capable. Okay, Daksha was the king of Himalayas. And they went to Daksha and said, he was their father, the 27, 26 of them went to him and said, look, he's so partial to one wife alone and he's spending more time with her and he's closer to her than us. So Daksha said, is that what happened? Okay, let me curse him. Let me curse him to become invisible, he said. The 26 of them said, aghast. They were aghast. They said, no, this is not what we want. Why did you make him invisible? He's such a handsome guy. We want him back. We want him to be impartial to all of us. So then he said, okay, but sorry, I can't take back my curse. I can only amend it. So every day you will see a little bit of him. And on the 14th day, you will see a full face. and you can enjoy for 2 nights. And then again, to remind him of my curse, he will start losing his face. And on the 14th and 15th day, you will not see him at all. Who are we talking about? All of you know,
The
isn't
moon.
it? Yeah. And who are the 27?
Stars.
The stars, isn't it? The 27 are the stars. Now, modern astronomy tells us that, see, the moon is going around the earth, okay? And there are 27 star constellations identified by the Hindu pantheon, Hindu astrology, okay? So the moon is passing under one star constellation at the time you were born. See, I was born in near Bangalore, okay? And that place, moon and the star constellation Keta, Triketa, were in one line. They were aligned. He was passing under Triketa when I was born. Okay. How did they know? It's all mathematical calculation. So as soon as the child is born, or when somebody is seeing a horoscope, they will say, where is the moon? Okay, Chandran evada. They will look at where the moon is. Then they will decide what the effect of these star constellations are on you. They have given certain characteristics to each planet and star. Okay. And so it is a chemical composition of 1/8 of this, 1/4 of this, 1/5 of this, 1/6 of this, or 3/4 of that. Okay. So then they will say, when these are moving, churning, then they will decide, okay, this effect is changing because the revolutions are changing. Garuda, Garuda, I want to share with you something. I went up on the terrace the other day and I was walking and I saw this. Okay, I'll share my screen now. Okay, I saw this cloud formation. What does it make you think? So when I went up and I saw, and I said, wow, look at this Garuda flying over my house. You know, I felt, oh my God. So I just sat and stood there and I looked at this. I said, what is he carrying? What does he have to say to me? Etc. I stood there and I think it is millions of people, millions of years ago, who looked at the sky and who kept looking and looking and looking and say, what is it this telling us? Isn't it? What is this telling us? So when we look at something that's flying up, and what is it seeing and what is it telling us? In Garuda's story, there are many, 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 many stories. You know the story of how Garuda was born. You know the story of Vinuta and the black snake, the black tail. You know that story, don't you? You all know? Do you all know? It's an amazing story. It's such an amazing story. There is this uh, Kashyapa. Kashyapa is the great sage, and um, to him, two wives. Okay, and one is Vinuta, and the other is Kadru, and they both want to have children. Okay, so he gives them eggs, and he says, "You have children." Kadru wishes for 1,000 children. So when the egg bakes, she has 1,000 children. But Vinuta has two eggs, and the Kadru has got 1,000 snakes as children. Vinuta has two eggs, and she is very impatient. She says, "How long? How long is good for this baby to be born?" So in a hurry, she just breaks one, and that is a very beautiful orange-colored Aruna, but he has no limbs. He's not fully formed. So he curses her, says, "Why did you break open the egg so soon? So you will become a slave of your other wife of father." So she feels very sad, and then he says, "Don't worry, my younger brother will redeem you." And Aruna becomes the light just before the sun rises. He becomes the charioteer for just the sun. Okay. And there are many, many stories I can tell about Aruna, but not today, because every one of those stories has many, many side stories, and one can keep on going. But I want to go further and tell you more. This girl, the second egg, she waited. She waited for it to completely be ready to be broken, and naturally, a huge bird came out. A huge bird came out. What do we do when we begin our dance practice? What do we do? We touch the earth and we do namaskaram, isn't it? We also look, see, this is a very physical form that is looking at the directions, making an axis here and consecutive circles that connect us to the cosmos with the axis here. And when we have done this, we have opened this, and it's the consecutive circles that connect us to the cosmos, isn't it? We're creating a circle around us. And this circle becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But beyond the text and beyond the gestures, when we recite, do you all know the Dhyana Shloka? Angikam Bhuvanam. Yeah. So when we say Angikam Bhuvanam, you must understand that it is beyond this earth, it's beyond everything, because Angikam Bhuvanam, Bhuvana is just not the earth, it's the whole cosmos, Angikam Bhuvanam. Okay, that means the canvas is the entire universe, the canvas itself. Angika is the material. For us dancers, it's the body. For a painter, it's a canvas. For a sculptor, it is the stone, isn't it? For or glass or wood or clay or whatever. Angika is the canvas, material. For the creativity that we are doing Namaha, Shiva, the very meaning of the word Shiva is not only Lord Shiva. It is, why did Shiva get the name Shiva? Because it's beyond beatitude. The word itself means beyond beatitude. Beyond peace, beyond joy. It's fulfillment. So, when we are saying Angikam Bhuvanam, Yasya Vachikam Sarvavangmayam, all the sounds in the world are singing his praise, but they are all his voice, his Vachika. The river flowing, the breeze, and the sounds of the animals and birds and nature, everything is his Vachika. Aharya, the jewelry, what is it? Chandra and Tara. So we are going beyond our classroom. We are going beyond our body. We are going beyond somewhere else. So whether even if we are sitting here, We are connected to that cosmos up there, isn't it? So, Angikam Bhuvanam Yasya Vachikam Sarvavangmayam Aharyam Chandrataradi Tam Numaha. To this creativity, Satvikam Shivam. We look for the greatness in all this creativity and we do Namaskaram. And you know what happened once? I was in Thailand, okay, in Bangkok, in the reclining Buddha temple. There are people sitting there, the Chinese people. They have all kinds of astrological things. There was one man sitting there who was free. So I went to him and I said, English? He said, yeah, yeah, English, English. So I showed him my palm and he looked at my palm. Teacher, he said. I said, wow. And then he said, no husband, why? I said, not married. So he said, okay, uh, art teaching connection you have, he said, and mostly with children. I was just flabbergasted. Then, what he told me strangely? He said, you have something in your hand that will prevent, you will never die in an air crash. So if you are in that aircraft and when you're flying, if the accident has to happen, you will save it. So I don't know. He told me this. So we were flying going Kathmandu, and Kathmandu is a valley, and it was a light plane. It was a very small plane, and the plane goes bobbing up and down. All of us everybody began screaming. So I said, "Don't worry, I am here." So stupid of me, but I said, one astrologer has said that I will save. I am here. Don't worry. We'll land safely. And we landed safely.
So we all book our flights. We are on your flight.
Expertise of the pilot, we know that, the way he maneuvered the flight to land. But, this is the excitement of life, isn't it? Why do we learn dance? To bring in some excitement in our life. Why do we read stories? Why do we wear colorful saris? Why do we dress the way we do? Because we want some excitement. So that way I look at astrology. I'm not neither disbelieving nor believing fully.